Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the mother of David McAtee says she still has questions about what led up to her son's death after he was shot and killed by police in Louisville last week. And the search for a missing Perry County man is expected to continue today after he went under while swimming at Laurel Lake.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Today is June 9th, Tuesday, as we like to call Monday 2.0, and it's going to be another hot one out there today like it was yesterday. Let's bring in Brandon Robinson to give us a look at that forecast. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Lacey. The Triple H threat back again today. Hazy, hot, humid conditions, and it's going to be the same starting out this morning already, anywhere between 5 and about 15 degrees warmer than it was this time yesterday. We see the temperatures across the board in the 70s for the most part, some upper 60s there, low 60s in Ashland. That's the outlier this morning. We take a look at statewide temperatures close to 80, Owensboro, Bowling Green, Paducah, Nashville, Louisville, but you see a little cooler in our side of the state here, back over in our side of the region. Out the door forecast, we are going to see temperatures close to 90 today, and it's just going to be a hot one. It's going to feel like the mid-90s out there, so be careful, stay hydrated. Sunscreen is a big key today. The rest of the forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. The mother of David McAtee is vowing to get justice for her son. Outside Yaya's Barbecue Shack in West Louisville, Odessa Riley says she still has questions about what led up to her son's death. She was shot and killed by police more than 1 week ago, and Riley says she wants to know why there was no ambulance for her son and who pronounced him dead. The family's attorney is calling for every piece of evidence into McAtee's death to be disclosed.
Firstly is providing everything. Two is acknowledging they have acted improperly in multiple violations and trying to reach out to the family to resolve the civil matter. That's the only thing we can control, all right? In regard to him being prosecuted, Commonwealth Attorney, United States Attorney, Attorney General, they have to make those decisions.
The family's attorney says videos released by LMPD were an attempt to steer public opinion against McAtee. Police say the videos show McAtee firing a gun before he was shot and killed. Governor Beshear said yesterday that he would release more information about the investigation today. And the Louisville Metro Council Public Safety Committee is considering a new policy that would change the use of no-knock warrants. Those are under scrutiny after the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. Breonna's law would restrict no-knock warrants and require officers to wear body cameras when serving them. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher did suspend them weeks ago. LMPD says the no-knock tactic is used when a suspect is known to have a dangerous past. And since the protests began, Governor Beshear has said that he is listening, and last night he outlined changes that he wants to push for equality in the state, and that includes 100% health care coverage for the African American community and schools using implicit bias training and recruiting more people of color as teachers. In the last night's briefing, the governor said, quote, "Our commitment is to make sure it's not just different from a public health perspective, but it is truly different from an equality and a justice perspective. This is the time when we have the opportunity to make better people, create a better world, and create a better Kentucky." And around this time last year, we learned that a Canadian-based company, Dashcore Aluminum, planned to invest nearly $20 million in a new facility in Perry County. Now the plant is up and running and has just shipped their first shipment. With an 80% customer base in Canada, Vice President of Operations Steve Everett says the goal is to bring in nearly half of that to Kentucky.
They've been waiting. We were supposed to be up and running back in January, February, so we kept the hiring process even though we didn't have work.
Everett says that shipping has begun. They can now ship every month and hope to be making the plant's own aluminum products in the coming weeks. And well, have you ever wanted to travel back into time? The city of Somerset is doing the next best thing. WYMT's Dakota Makeris tells us how.
Shoveling dirt.
Oh, that's beautiful, 2 feet.
Making room for the Time We Missed Time Capsule Project.
We thought it was an opportunity again to kind of memorialize 2020. It's been the year of transition, the year of challenge.
A dedication to difficult times.
Really, the idea came from wanting to honor our high school seniors and give them an opportunity to put something in here.
Kitty Omega is a member of the Summer City Roller Derby team.
Our season was supposed to start 2 weeks ago.
The team included a memento of the canceled season.
We created a poster of like what this season could have been, and it had the dates of our bouts and the people we were going against and all the things that it should have been and can be next year.
A way to preserve the season.
To look back whenever we dig this up and say, oh, it's there somewhere. Not really in person, but on paper.
From personal notes to face masks is what those high school seniors will find in 2040.
20 years, you're going to be a lot of places. By then, they may have kids growing up here. So then for them to be able to come to this and get the items out and see what their parents went through, to see the things that they missed.
The time capsule will show future generations of the years gone by. In Somerset, Dakota Makeris, WYMT Mountain News.
And a time capsule was buried in front of the Rocky Hollow Recreation Center. 37 bags are buried inside the capsule. And back in March, the 2020 Tokyo Olympics were postponed due to COVID-19, but that's not stopping one Kentucky swimmer from making a splash. The London native Parker Heron qualified for the 2021 Olympic trials last summer in the 100-meter backstroke. Heron says that when she started at Kentucky, she needed some work, so this was a huge accomplishment for her.
So the second I touched the wall, I looked at the scoreboard and I saw my time, and I got it to the 100th, like exactly down to the 100th of a second. And I just remember my jaw dropped, and I looked over and all my teammates were jumping up and down and they were screaming. They were so happy.
The trials were originally scheduled for June 21st through the 28th, but will now be June 13th through the 20th in 2021. And this past weekend, the NAIA came out with a statement regarding the fall sports season. WYMT's Willie Hope talked with a local NAIA football coach about what this means for them moving forward.
Signs are pointing towards football coming back in the fall at the NAIA level, but practices won't start on time, and neither will the season. In its statement this weekend, the NAIA announced that practice for fall sports won't start until August 15th, with all sports starting on September 5th outside of football. They will start on September 12th, a week later. The dates don't leave much time for teams to get ready, but U-Pike head football coach Al Holland Jr. hopes to take advantage of his team getting back on campus early and getting into shape.
You can get more back in July, and that'll even give us even more time, and hopefully that puts us at that 8-week window instead of just being 6 weeks. That would give us 4 weeks of weights and conditioning and kids being able to, get back to football-related type things and pushing their bodies to get back in shape, and hopefully that helps us be more proactive, and we're very blessed to have an administration that's pushing hard to have everything in place.
Holland said the administration is working to come up with a plan moving forward, similar to other Mid-South Conference schools such as the University of Cumberland's and Union College. Also of note from the NAIA statement, each NAIA sport would need half of their participating institutions to get clearance from their local government before competition can start. The individual NAIA schools will come out with their plans moving forward in the next coming weeks. Steve?
And the NAIA still intends to host all fall national championship events as currently scheduled. Whether fans could attend or not was not included in that statement.
Time now for our daily Helpers and Heroes segment here, where we highlight those frontline workers and essential folks from across the region. Let's go right to our first picture this morning, and that comes to us from Deb. This is her son, Matt Klein. Matt is a paramedic for Appalachian First Response and the chief of the Turkey Creek Volunteer Fire Department. You don't get much more frontline than that outside of a hospital. His family wants him to know that they are so proud of his accomplishments, his compassion and love for others. Well done, Matt. We appreciate you. Our next picture was submitted by Keith. This is his wife, Angela Campbell. Angela is the infection control nurse at Mary Breckenridge ARH in Hyden. Keith says she works hard to keep her coworkers and community safe. He also wants God to bless her during this difficult time. Amen, Keith. Amen. And finally, our last picture today comes to us from Brenda. This is Bubba and Tammy Roberson from Wheelwright. They oversee the Big Creek Missions location there. In just 1 week, they serve more than 2,000 people hot lunches and continue to give back to their community and others through their mission. They even have plans to open a food pantry to continue serving that mission. God bless you both for your dedication to these mountains. And of course, you can still submit yours. I believe we're going to do this for another couple of weeks, another few weeks actually. So keep them coming. You can submit those online, WYMT.com. Just find the Helpers and Heroes link, or you can also send those to me on my Facebook page, Brandon Robinson, WYMT. The time now is about 6:43. We'll be right back on Mountain News This Morning.